In this episode, we will be looking at the question of why we should be governed. But before we can answer this question, we first have to define what the state of nature is. The state of nature refers to what life would be like without governments, laws, police, and other things that make a state. How we define the state of nature is very important in political philosophy, since it determines to what extent human life can function without a government and whether or not that would be a good thing or not. British philosopher Thomas Hobbes believes that life in the state of nature is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. But why did Thomas Hobbes say this? Well, Hobbes argues that humans by nature are irrational and self-interested and have a desire for power and self-preservation, and that we will use any means possible to fulfill these desires. He also argues that the world does not contain enough resources to sustain and satisfy everyone, therefore meaning that in a world of no governments, life would be totally horrible, since everybody would be fighting for resources, power, and self-preservation. A war of all against all, as Hobbes puts it. A good example here would be to think of the film Lord of the Flies. Without a strong leadership to rule over the kids, they do whatever it takes to survive. Jack Merrydew fights and kills simply for glory and leadership status, so that he gains a reputation of being ruthless in order that the other kids fear him and do not question his authority or dare try to overthrow him. People such as Piggy and Ralph, who don't want to fight, get hunted and killed. Kill or be killed, as the saying goes. Those kids who aren't physically strong team up and put their other skills, such as intelligence, charisma, and fire-making ability, to use. But as soon as a member becomes sick and no use to the tribe, he will be kicked out or killed. Friendships only last as long as it benefits both parties. Furthermore, in this state of nature, there is no place for industry or economical growth, because the fruit of one's actions are uncertain. What is the point of trying to start an industry if there is a high chance that what you have built will be destroyed or stolen? Consequently, there will be no culture of the earth, no navigation, no use of commodities that may be imported by sea, no luxury buildings or homes, no instruments of moving and removing things that require much force, no knowledge of the face of the earth, no account of time, no arts, no letters, no society, and what is worst of all, the continual fear and danger of violent death. Hobbes states that the only way to resolve and stop this horrible state of nature is to have a government that keeps law and order. Thomas says that this government must have absolute power and authority, and that its only obligation is to protect the state from outside danger and to prevent danger from rising within. It must therefore have strict rules and justice. Hobbes argues that if the government fails to retain total power, civil war will break out and the government will fall, thus returning life back to the state of nature. The only time when an uprising is okay, according to Hobbes, is when the state is failing to protect you from outside danger. So what do you think? Who would you like us to talk and discuss about in the future? Please leave your thoughts and comments below. Remember, you can be kept updated via our Twitter and Facebook feeds. And thank you for watching Total Philosophy.